Hello, today I'm going to talk about the ATS check-in system. The ATS check-in system will let you automatically record activity records in iMIS based on barcode scanning of attendees' badges, mail pieces, or anything else that you can put a barcode on. There's a simple installer to this system. I've already installed it and I've hit the start on this. In the system setup, I want to go through a few configurations here. It works with both iMIS 15 and iMIS 10. You designate the SQL server you're going to connect to, the database, the iMIS 15 URL if this is iMIS 15. If it's iMIS 10, it asks you fewer questions. And for iMIS 15, you fill in the data. You can either encrypt and save the data, so you don't have to put this in every time you start up, or you can uncheck it and then you'll have to enter this in every time. So that's a security feature that you get to choose how you want to use this. I'm going to go ahead and save changes and close. So now I'm ready to log in. Before I do that though, I want to pop back over to iMIS, and this is the iMIS 15 database, and you'll see I've created an activity record called CheckIn. This activity record, it could be named anything you want. These are the fields we're looking for though. We're looking for user-defined field 2, which will be the name of the person that logged in that did the scanning. In addition, you could create a checkout activity. You could create any kind of activities and multiple ones and use them differently with the check-in system. So I'm going to go back over to the check-in system. I'm going to go ahead and log in and show you a few more of the configuration features of this system. In this case, I'm going to log in as manager. And when I log in as manager, of course, that authenticates fully to iMIS. It's using the .NET iMIS business objects. So it's fully supported by ASI in the way that we're reading and writing to the database. Now, there's a couple different modes you can have here. If you want to tie the registration to iMIS, if it's tied to an iMIS registration, then you can click yes here, and it'll be tied to an event in iMIS. If you say no, you could use this, for example, if you're just scanning mail pieces or something else that has a barcode on it that you want to record that you scanned that piece of information. In this case today, I'm going to talk about an iMIS tied to an iMIS registration. Now with iMIS registration, if I say that, it gives me a list of the meetings that are coming up or that are in the iMIS database, and in this case, I'm going to select the annual conference. Now I've got a couple different modes here. I can check in just to the annual conference, meaning it'll check any, just that the person's attending the conference. Or you can drill it down to a specific function. For example, full day registration. And you could have different things. So let's say, for example, you've got some pre-conference seminars and you want to authenticate people that are coming in for continuing education. You could have a different scanner by each door checking people as they come into the door to make sure that they are registered for that session. In addition, you could do the same thing with them leaving the room. If you wanted to check the allocated time that they are actually in that meeting, you could check them in and check them out. In this case, the next option is, do you want to require registration? Requiring registration means it's going to beep if that person is not registered, and it's going to alert the monitor that's doing the scanning here. In addition, if you like, there's a way to upload a test file that says the attendee's registered and attendee's not registered. And this is really useful, for example, if the attendees or if the monitor, excuse me, is registering a lot of people at one time. They can just hear the beep, 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 and if somebody is not registered, you can have an audible sound or a program or a music or note or anything like a ringtone, something like that, that would play to indicate that that person is not registered. This would be similar to the scanners that you see as you're boarding an aircraft. The last thing to specify is what activity type. It gives you a complete list here of all the activities that are in iMIS, so you can pick which activity you want the registration to go to. So I'm going to go ahead and say save changes and close. And now I'm to the main screen here, where at the bottom you'll see in the blue here, currently scanning for annual main full. And it's going to scan people in and show you the demographics of those people. Now in this case, I've got in my hand a barcode scanner, and I'm going to go ahead and scan an attendee, and you're going to see what happens when I scan that badge. You'll hear an audible tone. And there I scanned badge number 245. You'll see that that was Randy Richter. He's an individual member, and it shows some information about Randy. If his photo's available, the photo will be there. It'll also show what Randy's registered for at this session. So if Randy is registered for this conference but not for this session, it would have played an audible tone, and that audible tone would have told you that there's something wrong. You could look here and you can see what they're actually registered for. So let's say, for example, the case is that somebody's registered for one seminar, but they're actually at the wrong door. This will be a way to help that person that's monitoring the room help direct the person to the right door. In addition, there's a history tab here that shows any kind of history of dues, orders, and events. This can be modified if you don't want this to show up, but this is a lot of good history to show. Maybe it's at the main registration desk where staff would be reviewing this. There is also the ability to look somebody up if you just want to look somebody up and check them in manually. And then there's a Logout button. But I'm going to go back to the main button right now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in iMIS. Now in iMIS, we're going to go look for record 245, and I'm going to go into the customer module. And I already have record 245 showing up here. And you'll see that here it's recorded just right now that this Randy Richter checked in at the annual main, and the person that logged in and did that was manager. All right, so if I go back to the system and I check Randy Richter in again, or check in another, I'm going to check in another person right now. And now you'll see I registered Doug Hunt. Now Doug Hunt is not registered for this event. And there is a way, though, if you want to override that, you can check in manually, and that will create the activity record manually. In the case of Doug Hunt, there's a little bit more history here. You can see dues and orders and events, things that he is registered for, and that's how that works. Again, with the lookup, I'll go back to the lookup, and we're going to look up Randy Richter again. And I'm going to do a search, and you can see right here, I can search and I can select and manually register and check in Randy Richter for that session. So that's really it about the system. If we go back, once again, it can be used for registering people for an event, registering people for a specific function in an event, or just in general, registering the fact that somebody created or sent in a letter or something like that that has a barcode on it. If you want more information about the ATS check-in system, please contact ATS at info.atsol.org or visit our website at www.atsol.org. Thank you.